Give me the moo, give me the moo, give me the moo. It's Justin. I have not been on here in a while. If my audio sounds a little off, I am in another location because my space in my other place is kind of jacked right now. So yeah, just doing those things. Anyway, let me go ahead and do all the shows, the socials. The socials. Let's see. Don't want to show that. Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Share on here. On the face communications, as my pastor once said. And I was like, bro, you old. There are people older than him, you know, at that particular meeting when he said that, and I was just kind of like, why is this on my screen? Jeez. Anyway. Wait, am I still? Oh, I'm just copying. Okay, that's right. That's been this weird thing lately where I have been I remember I showed something to someone recently on my Instagram, and I don't look at that stuff anymore. I haven't looked at that stuff in like years. Hentai I can't say that about, but real people I haven't done that in years. So I remember trying to talk to somebody, just kind of got me out and going out and meeting people and everything, and somebody on my Instagram, she actually is an actual stripper, but she's found me. We just found each other on Instagram and everything, you know, and like I just want to reach out to them in a fatherly ministry, because I'm 36 years old now. I can do that now. Kind of way, and you know, and I look at her as, you know, somebody that I love and care about, you know, but just that she just posts butt naked pictures of herself sometimes. Not butt naked, but you know, thirst trap pictures of herself. And I'm just like, doggone it, woman. So I guess I could take measures to blocking the content. It's just that it so doesn't bother me. I don't care. But maybe for the sake of, you know, your young virgin eyes, I should do that. So, oh man, crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. That was a mess, though. But Anna, she usually doesn't post things like that. The one time that she does, the one time I go to Facebook without doing the proper share thing and everything, you know, that happens. That's just awesome. Wow. Don't try to talk yourself out of it. It's like, nah, bruh. If I had that problem, I'd let y'all know. I'm pretty transparent. I don't try to front on nothing, because the more that you lie, remember the profound prophet Lady Gaga said this: people are just interested in what you don't know, what you don't want to know. So therefore, I'm kind of like, yeah. If I was in that world, I'd be like, yeah, I'm in that world. I'm about that life. So it's like, yes, there are issues where sometimes I want to look at the hentais, but these come fleetingly, and it's not where I am now. But there's lots of temptation with that. And that was my jam back in the day, so that hasn't completely and totally left me yet, unfortunately. But it will, in the name of Jesus. Anyway, Um, I can't do it. I just can't. I think what ruined porn for me was this. Well, real people. It was ruined for me when I saw how it was being made, and then I started hearing the stories about how these women, how they live in the industry. And after that, I was like, nope, I'm out. And I saw how, like, they had to shoot it. And you have this guy just screaming all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Spitting her this and do this. And it's like, you know, like, yeah, effing. I was just, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I was like, nah. They're making a choice. He's like, yeah, they're making a choice. They're making a terrible choice. Give me that crap. So, yeah, so they're adults and they can do what they want, but doesn't make it a good idea. Cause sweet God. Hashtag. Okay. So today, I am continuing to add to the list of moves and everything. I haven't worn this thing in forever, feels like, man. In a lot of ways, I'm pretty disappointed in myself for, that's my church, yay! For my, lack of performance when it comes to this whole thing. Okay, I think I am done with this. So anyway. So if I don't see you, or there's not a whole lot of screen real estate I have right now to actually see you out there, so forgive me if I pass you by. Okay, enemies. Hated by enemies. I love the way Tupac said enemies. Enemies! It's like, what's an enemy? Okay, Hayden was there, Sofana was there. Niall is next. So the reason why I'm talking this time around is because I guess I have things to share. But it's been about belief lately. Like, belief is something, That's what I think hinders me probably the most out of this whole project is still believing in it. Because it's like I don't know. It's difficult to get the perception of it sometimes, you know. It's like at the beginning I had a bunch of enthusiasm because, you know, I had more people playing and things like that, you know, but now it's just kind of like because all that's died down, there's just not a whole lot of belief in it right now. And I think that's why what kind of hinders me a lot when it comes to doing the things. Let me see what our screen looks like right now. Okay. But that's why it's right now we're in like the muddy place in a lot of ways. That's what I'm going to look at. There we go. Yeah. And belief is really, really interesting. So I've just been kind of dealing with that and wrestling with that lately. Won't be a long stream, I don't think. Belief is... You really can't do anything without belief. You have to really dig at building belief because it just doesn't come. It doesn't come intuitively. It doesn't come cheap. Um, it's just a tough thing to kind of because you know you can have belief. So really, it's just the fuel. It fuels everything. If you don't believe in something that you're doing, you're not gonna do it. It's not. And to my amazement, really, I've lost a lot of belief when it comes to this project. Like a lot. I don't even know how I feel about that. You know, like that's a shocking thing. So I'm kind of doing therapy for myself right now, honestly. So this would sound like a shameless plug. I'm not trying to make it be that way. So this would sound like a shameless plug. I'm not trying to make it.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, alone, way from home.
Let's say lightning attack. All. So then we'll move on to. Okay. But belief is. How to describe it? I did something recently where I stayed up until like 7 o'clock in the morning for like 2 weeks, grinding on making this website. That was only because I believed in the website. Now look at the work I used to do on this project, you know, and like I said, this thing's been in the pool forever. Forever. Since like 2012 or something crazy like that. I mean 2012, 2013. And with all the funding and all the people that have supported me on the Patreon, you know, raising the amount of money we have and everything, it's been amazing stuff, you know, and there's just been a lot of like being in the tunnel for a long time, you know, that kind of syndrome, and it's just very, very tough right now. Like, I don't want to halfway stream most of the time. I don't want to work on the thing most of the time. It's just really, really rough right now because there's no belief in it. If I believe in it, y'all ain't gonna believe in it. I believe now the work when I did believe in it, the work that I've done so far has been pretty amazing, I think. But focus, there's a lot to be said about focus too. What am I doing this for? The reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to make Christian games that don't suck. And if I don't, I've learned, I won't say no one else will, but I don't think anyone else gives a ish about, isn't ready for the backlash about what that actually means. Most people want to make something that's going to be profitable and things like that. I just want the thing to exist, to inspire someone else to make more content that is, you know, more adult. Not adult as in, you know, we're going to put a bunch of sex and violence in there and say that's adult, you know what I'm saying? It's not. But concepts and things like that. Concepts, you know, things that adults would know about and a child wouldn't be able to comprehend at that point in time. That's what I'm talking about. And then sometimes, you know, I was like, well, does the world need that? Does the world want that? Is the world ready for that? In terms of the Christian world and everything. And sometimes I don't know. Um. Oh, Bob Saget. I hate this. I hate the way this thing does equal sign. Jeez. It can't interpret it worth a doggone. Look at this. That's going to use a dash from now on because I'm just tired of constantly going back. Fast all attack. Yeah, this thing's going insane right now. Fast all attack. And okay, and again, I understand that this is not like a huge crisis or something like that, you know. I understand that there are more serious things to be looking at and wondering about, but at the same time, this is part of my calling, and it's like, do you believe in your own calling? Because that's the weird part, right? The weird part is Sorry, Silky the dancer. Um, Silky the dancer. Um, in some ways, I do. Um, but I consider a Christian game is for the said purpose of its audience, um, to do to edify the body. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the audience. So really, a Christian game is more about the audience than it is about necessarily the content itself. But if it's for the audience, then the content will coincide with the what is who is actually directed towards. So yeah. But anyway, and then there's these debates about what is a Christian game and everything. I'm just kind of like, if you're thinking about your audience, yeah, I should be clear. I think if you're not, then it's not so clear. Like I made a game called Black Simulator where I put some religious stuff in it, but it's not a Christian game. Because I didn't make it for the audience specifically. I sprinkled a little bit of that in there, but I didn't make it for that audience. It's committing to the side. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm at like, is the side that I'm on, is the side that I'm on like even ready for that? Do they want that? I just don't know. But I remember when I was focused in on just making this thing just because I like God a lot. It was like my ultimate offering to Him. You know, that's what it started out, and that's what I probably need to get back into, because if I start thinking about all this other stuff, then it's just deviated me so far out from what I originally started to be that it's just become frustrating, I think. Because there is no market. You know, like there's no market. I don't know. I have no data on this. I have nothing to really go on. Like, it's a miracle, as an act of God, it's a miracle I even got this far into the process. I hate that I can't interpret a freaking dash. Gosh. Um. Poor Ryuza. That word thing is funny. Oh. Um. But I think I'm gonna have to do something to make this thing more interesting. Um. In terms of the process itself. Because as it is now, I've become very disinterested in it. Well, not only can you say that, it's just, I don't know. I'm just at this weird point right now where something's got to change, and I just don't know what it is. So you can leave some comments or whatever, in the chat below. So, because I really don't know, y'all. But something's got to change. If we want to see this thing get made, you know what I'm saying? Something's got to change. Maybe I just need some encouragement. The Borg. That's funny. Because before I said that, I was going to, finish up here and then work on this other engine. And I'm still going to do that, but I don't know if I like working on this engine anymore. Or maybe I do, and the fact that it's been so old and crusty it just frustrates me. So I really don't know what the problem is, y'all. It's me though. I do know that it's me. Definitely 1000% me. There's no shortage of love and support, and dollars from the Patreon. You know, we raised almost $2,500. You know, with the Patreon. Like, I just feel so blessed about that. Wow. That's a good pot to be making these things, to be finding the colorists with and things like that. You know, I'm just so blessed about that. Truly. And I had a predecessor. And he was trying to do the same thing that I'm doing. He basically had a modded Doom engine, and he was trying to, you know, and he was actually on like a bunch of like news shows like MSN, not MSN, I forgot what it was, NBC. I think it may have been MSN. You know, had a few articles about that kind of stuff, you know, and like, you know, just doing his thing. And I think that the same thing that's happening to me right now is happening to him. It's just like the crickets. Once you hear the crickets, it's like, oh boy. But you have to just stay focused on what you're doing it for. But is that the right reason to do things for? I don't know. Apparently Justin needs to go ahead and hop off of here and start praying, because I don't know what the fudge I'm doing right now. Which is fine. But I would like to I can't really do anything with that. No, drains. Drains HP. I do know that I may not make really, really big games, at least by myself anymore. I'll end up like doing like the like the, what do you call them? They're not called light novels. I always forget those doggone things called. They're like the what do you call them? Like Phoenix Wright, stuff like that, you know, that kind of stuff. I probably have a lot more energy to do things like that. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to jump off of here because I should be more excited that I'm back and everything, and we're all yay, and all the things and everything, you know. But I didn't. Now that I'm like vocalizing these things, you know, that's why I think the stream is good. Now that I'm vocalizing these things, it's like, I didn't know I really felt that way about it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and meditate on these things and just kind of go from there. But you can find me on the links in the description below in terms of supporting and the Patreon, all that jazz. So, love you guys very much. I'll see you on the next in the remix, and hopefully it'll be a little bit more upbeat. Cause dear God. All right, guys, later.